What is going on, Diablo 2 fans? Dobrunski here, and I'm back with another Rasha's build video. Now I know you guys are thinking, you just did a full tile set with the Phoenix Rumored, and did a 3-piece tiles comparison to the full Rasha's set, so what else is there to cover? Well, what if I told you that the 4-piece tile set is a really effective Lightning Sorceress build? I know what you guys are thinking, but do not sleep on it. It's an awesome combination between high damage, good FHR breakpoints, and all-around MF. I was playing around with this build live on stream today, link for my Twitch channel. It is of course in the description below, twitch.com/Dobrunski125. If you guys want to give me a follow and hang out during my Diablo 2 live streams, I'd really appreciate the support. But like all of my previous build videos, timestamps are in the description below, so if you guys want to bounce back and forth between the attributes, skill tree, gear, or gameplay, they're there for you guys to use, so please take advantage of them. Other than that guys, I really do hope you enjoy this video. Let's jump in. So the first two things that I want to cover with this Sorceress build is the attribute distribution and the skill tree investment. Now it's kind of your typical softcore Lightning Sorceress, nothing special there. So for the attribute points, I have just enough strength to equip my gear, which is 156, nothing in dexterity, nothing in energy, and then all my remaining points are put into vitality, hence the term max vitus setup. And then for the skill tree, I have 1 point into all the typical 1-point wonders. So 1 into warmth, 1 into frozen armor, 1 into static field, telekinesis, and teleport. And then all of my remaining points are put into lightning and its synergies, including lightning mastery. And then once you reach a high enough level, you will have a couple extra skill points that you can choose to invest however you like. So a couple into frozen armor for extra defense, warmth for extra mana recovery, or thunderstorm if you want a little bit of extra damage. It's kind of like a passive 1-point wonder, which really doesn't do a lot of damage on the higher player's difficulty settings. But that's kind of a brief overview, so now we'll dive into the gear of this 4-piece Rasha's set. So starting off with the obvious gear pieces, I'm using an Isted Tal's Orb, Isted Body Armor, the Amulet, and the Belt. That is the 4 of the 5 pieces, because obviously you don't see the mask. And you get a lot of really nice bonuses with this set, so FCR, FHR, Res, and MF. But the really key component to using the 4 Rasha's piece is you get minus 15% enemy lightning res on the orb, and I paired that with a Faceted Griffins for a total of minus 40 lightning res on the entire setup. So it's not quite the extent of the raw damage that you would get from using Crescent Moon. I actually did recently make a build video on that. Link is in the description below if you guys want to check it out. But this has a lot more MF than that setup does. But there is a lot of variability in the remaining gear pieces that you choose depending on how you want to tailor your setup. If you want to maximize MF, survivability, or damage, you can play around with the rings, the gloves, and the boots that you choose to run on this spec. So I am using Mage Fist for the 20 FCR and mana recovery. You can use Trangs if you want the additional cold res, it's up to you. And then I have Dwarf Star for Fire Absorb for Hydras on wave 3, and then a Wisp Projector for Lightning Absorb for Souls in the Throne Room. And then I paired that with the nicest pair of Tri-Res boots that I found in single player. 35 cold res, 38 lightning res, and 34 fire res. That helps me cap my resistances almost entirely. And then the offhand, I have a 564 CTA and Spirit. That is kind of the standard gear on the offhand of any non-barbarian character in Diablo 2. But for the inventory, I have a Torch and Annie, and then I have different assorted lightning skillers, some with plus life and others are plain, with a useless 7 faster Rimlock lightning skiller, and then 40 MF Geet's Grand Charm. And then I have 2 FHR Small Charms. So these 2 FHR Small Charms, the FHR bonus on the 4 Rasha's piece set, and Spirit gives me the 86 FHR breakpoint. And then I have different assorted resistance MF Small Charms to reach a total of 306 MF with 71 fire, 76 cold, 75 lightning, and 49 poison resistance. So the Mercenary's Gear is kind of my standard go-to Infinity, Fortitude, and Enduro's Visage setup. This has a 15 IS Fire Res Jewel. I really use this on almost any elemental damage dealing build, so the Trapsin, Javazon, Lightning Sorceress, or Fire Sorceress, you name it, you pretty much have to use this really expensive but important rune word. But that is all of the gear and kind of a reasoning behind some of my choices, which makes, I think, the 4 tile set pretty interesting for a Lightning Sorceress MF setup. But now we'll do 2 Bale runs. We'll go down to the Throne Room on players 1, do the waves on players 8, and then we'll do Bale on players 3 because he's capped out for experience, just so you guys can get an idea of what the build is like in terms of like damage output and MF and survivability. So I do really like this setup. I think it's a good blend of total percent damage and MF. There's not a lot of Lightning Source setups that can run upwards of 300 MF and still do players 8 Bale waves and a players 3 Bale kill. Now hopefully there's not too many dolls. Could you imagine dying on my build video? How embarrassing that would be. On our way to level 99. But I think it's always best to go down to the throne room in players 1 and then go up to players 8 for the Bale waves and then down to players 3 again for Bale, as his experience is capped out at players 3. Now if you check out the comparison video between my Crescent Moon max damage lightning source setup, link is in the description below, to this, obviously the clear speed isn't quite there. But again, we're talking 300 MF and a higher infrastructure breakpoint versus just under 150 MF. So you kind of got to weigh what is more important to you overall and make your decision. I really like the Dwarf Star to use on wave 3 and kind of face tank the players 8 Hydras. Even though it's totally not needed at all, it's just nice to have kind of that extra little survivability and the ability to kind of AFK, because I really like to focus on reading chat on stream. I mean, we're talking players 8, 300 MF, we got dolls coming up. Let's not have them blow up in my face, that would be horrible. Ah! Okay. But I do think that this is a good overall blend of total percent MF and damage, because that was a players 8, wave 4, clear, in pretty good time, I think. And wave 5. Ah, another doll coming up from the bottom. Thanks for an entertaining build video. Dealing with dolls. Okay, and then we go down to players 3 again for Bale. I get asked that all the time in stream, why do I do that? His experience is capped out. Players 5 is no drop rate is slightly better than players 3, but the experience doesn't change. Since I'm mostly farming for experience, we're just going to do players 3. Isn't that mana burn annoying sometimes? And check the orb. Helm's not colored, not worth our time. Huge sorcerer skill is 20 energy, I think that was. Okay, so we'll do another run. We'll go down to players 1.
Not in town.
One more time so you can get an idea of the clear speed. And we have 2,000 health, just 900 mana. Resistances are nearly capped out with minus 40 lightning res and good overall MF. Is Bale a good target for magic finding? No, not really. But I still think doing 1,000 runs, which I have about 1,000 runs to go to get to level 99, if I do it with 300 MF versus 150, there's a chance I can get some better drops off of the waves themselves or actually Bale. Go up to players 8 again. But I mean, we got a pretty quick clear speed for players 8 Bale waves, and then I have 27. I forgot to mention that I have 27,000 lightning damage. So I was messing around with an Ormus robe setup in Crescent Moon, which was a lot harder to cap my res, but I did have 35,000 lightning damage, which obviously had better clear speed. But that particular setup with Ormus robes had 25 MF. So I mean, what's better, 25 MF, 150 with kind of the Chains of Honor setup I was using, or having over 300 and still being able to do players 8 waves at a pretty good clear speed? Is that wave down? Alright, we'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. I am working on a blood crafting video. That's why I have the heavy gloves. See, this is why it always pays to watch DB's videos all the way through. Little sneak peek of an upcoming crafting video. Blood gloves. Try and improve my smiter a little bit. Getting a little overzealous there. Base tanking that fire damage. Let's check the 1, +3 to bone spear. Never is. And the last one. Players 8, wave 5. I think my favorite part about switching to using Endaro's Visage is the Poison Nova proc. It is so unbelievably gorgeous. Okay. Go down to players 3 again. Let's see if we can get a nice little GG bail drop to cap off this video. Come on, Bale, what you got? Amulet. I'll check the 220 gloves. Oh, I don't have room. Amulet. It'd be funny if I got Tal's amulet on a Tal's build. And kind of cool gloves if they had. Like, if those were 220s with Dex, Strength, and Cold Res. And MF. But sadly, they're not. But guys, there you have it. That wraps up my 4 Rash's Lightning Sorceress build. Do not sleep on this setup. I think it's a really good combination of total % damage, good resistances, MF, and FHR breakpoints. Again, nearly cap res, 86 FHR, and you just saw that I cleared Bill and his Bill waves on the highest player's difficulty setting in the game, so definitely worthy of giving a shot, at least I think, in my opinion. But as always, guys, if you could throw a like on this video, share it, and even consider subscribing if you're new to my channel. I post new weekly content and stream twice a week on Twitch, so if you could give me a sub on YouTube and a follow on Twitch, I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, hope you have a fan-frickin-tastic day, and I'll see you on my next video or live stream. Peace out.